Mm. Alrighty, here we go. Off to start, we got Roy Koopa on the left and a Boo Sprite on the right. Now, the best part about open mode, depending on who you ask, is how completely wide open the game is from the get-go. You have Hyrule Castle, you have Kakariko Village, you have South Shore, which includes the dam, and Mini Moldorn Cave or Lake Hylia. You can also go to the desert and check Agana's Cave. You have all these crazy options, which allows players to either get a huge advantage or lose an advantage, depending on which minor choices that they make. Imagine it's just a bunch of 50-50s all at once. And there we see already the Cane of Samaria coming into play. Now that's a nice item for late game when you're trying to clear some dungeons. Not really going to help you out right yet. We're looking for like swords or maybe some sort of movement options like boots or a flute. Flute would get us up to Death Mountain. Boot would just allow us to move a lot more quickly. Now the other thing is you could look at that Cane of Samaria as a weapon in a sense. We have seen Cane of Samaria strats come into play against like Blind or even Mini Moldorn Cave to a certain degree. I wouldn't find them to be very effective if you were like planning on going down and clearing Hyrule Castle or anything like that. And we see the Tier 1 tree pull bombs. That is a beautiful sight to see. That means our players will be able to save some rupees by not having to buy bombs at Kakariko, and at the same time they'll be able to go straight into Kakariko with the best routing options, being able to clear Blind's basement and Bomb in the Well and Chicken House on their first trip, without having to like backtrack and walk back and do that. Ender picking up his Cane of Samaria. Zaen is checking Lumberjack Cave. We saw, I believe it was a heart piece, so we will not be seeing an Agate Tower yet. There's still the potential that this might be an Agate-required seed, depending on the layout and where all the items are located, if that is their only means of getting to the Dark World. Got a fairy in a bottle in the Lost Woods. A beautiful item to pick up, nonetheless, because that means a even better routing through Kakariko Village, knowing you don't have to come back once you find a bottle later. Will we see the... Ooh, okay. I was wondering, since Zaen skipped it, but the bush crabs only drop in hearts this time. Nothing that exciting. You're always wanting to see if he'll drop, like, bombs or red rupees or, anything of value. Hearts are nice if you're, like, in a pinch, but they're not going to really do anything yet for you. All right, time to find out what we got going on in Kakariko. Is that... Did I miss... I know I missed one item, which was in Lost Woods. Was that really the Moon Pearl? Of all the items to not to miss, I was looking at bush crabs when a Moon Pearl showed up on screen. Ah, yes. There it is. Nice. All right, back to Blind's basement. What do we got? We got rupees, we got hearts, we got an arrow upgrade. Nothing really exciting. Now, when you see that Moon Pearl right away, you're already starting to think like, okay, good. Now I just need this, and this to get to the Dark World. But that could also mean, really depending on which items you get, because if you get like, cape and lamp, then you're already thinking, oh gosh, I might have to go do Agate Tower. If you get like hookshot and flippers, that's screaming Agate Tower as well, because that is one of the options, one of the ways to get to the rest of the Dark World from the pyramid up by the Broken Bridge. But we'll wait a minute before we get too excited. We still have a lot of items left to find. Oh, and there's the hammer. Oh man, are we going to get to the Dark World before we even leave Kakariko Village? We are one item away from the Dark World. If we could find a glove, we in there. Well, Zaen trading in 100 rupees for 50. Now, I wonder if Zaen will go ahead and pick up more bombs on the way out anyway, just to have that full capacity filled. Without having a... Well, I guess a hammer would suffice as a good weapon, but hammers versus Mini Moldorn Cave, I would not recommend it. It's kind of it's kind of a pain in the butt. Those hammer hitboxes, depending on which way you do it, can really throw you off. And especially with only 3 hearts or 4 hearts, it wouldn't take much to make that 5 hearts. It wouldn't take much to take a death in Mini Moldering Cave. Yeah, I'd say the only time a hammer hitbox really works is if you're doing hammer Trinex. Surprisingly, he has a bit of a. It seems like he has a larger. Well, I guess it's more so the fact that it doesn't move that fast. So compared to like mini Moldorans, which you have no idea what their patterns are going to be. Ooh, that was a real quick check. We got 2 crystals, 1 Tower of Hera, and 1 Eastern, and we have a pendant in Desert. All right, let's see where Zane's off to next, and Ender will be following shortly behind. With hammer in hand, it looks like Zaen is going to be taking the Hyrule Castle approach. Not a bad idea. We're still missing a lot of items. Oh, and Ender going for the bomb purchase. Makes sense when you have 0. Zaen having the advantage of that 1 tier 1 tree pull, dropping 4 bombs for him, so he is good to go for the time being. But unless he finds some more, he's going to need to pick up some bombs somewhere. But there are always bombs somewhere out there. Easy to find. Oh man, that's not what you want to see. Dungeon map right off the bat. Okay, now I've seen this route choice before. Some people will just instinctively or just automatically go through this maze because it saves a little bit of time than checking it, but if it ends up being junk, then obviously, I don't know. I feel like checking it is still the faster option right now. But at the same time, if you're worried about health, might as well pick up anything you can. All right, what is Ender going to do next? Oh, and Zaen picking up another 3 bombs. Ender following suit. Looks like he's going to be heading into Hyrule Castle as well. So far, we haven't seen anything really of value in here yet. We've seen a map, and we've seen bombs. I wonder if we'll be seeing any dark rooms today in Hyrule. What do we got? It's money! Hey! It's all that Houlihan money. Nice. Well, Ender is going to be able to visit Zora at the end of his trip through Hyrule Castle, so that's good for him. Zaen heading down to the South Shore section. We got 2 items over by the dam. If he's going to go for the gamble and check Agnes Cave, which nobody ever does, it's like the tile room of G-Tower. Nobody ever checks that right away. You always put that on. And then we'll probably see a trip east. I wonder if we'll get some water walking action today. And are now going to go pick up a few more bombs. Let's see what Zaen finds in here. What's the soggy item today? It's a heart piece. He says nah. I love Boo. Boo's just a great character. His character sprite looks a little interesting when he's like facing north or south, but from the side, perfect. It's beautiful. He's just got that face, that nonchalant face. Oh, wow. Zaen going for some hammer strats here. Ooh, getting that safety heart. Nice. See, with 9 bombs in hand, I think... Yep, wait. Oh, forget... See some Kane strats. They still take 2 hits. Back to hammer. Bomb? Oh man, we're seeing the entire arsenal. You know, next you gotta pull out that bottle and toss a fairy at him. Oh, there's some more rupees. Therefore, making that Houlihan purchase, or not purchase, but trip to Houlihan completely void. Guys, I keep saying it. Houlihan's dead. It's just how it is. All right, Zane's got to be very careful here. With green tunic and only 2.5 hearts left, all it takes is one. Oh, there's the one. Half a heart going up here without any sort of like real range weapon. Like you like having a hook shot at this point because you can pop these crabs out of the way. He's gonna have to be extra careful here. These things move fast. Oh, and look at that. They all moved just so conveniently out of the way. Oh, and Ender picking up his heart piece. Going for the map check. He's going for the... Ooh! He's going for the Agana play. This could pay off. As I said, it's like the tile room of the... like in G-Tower. Nobody really checks this first, but he, I would assume, has studied his opponent a little bit. He knows that maybe he's outmatched in execution. So he's got to go for some crazy gambles in order to even things up. Zaen making his way on over to Sahasrarla's hut. 3 really good items potentially in there, and then I wonder if we'll see a trip into Eastern Palace. What do we got? The glove! Wow. What a payoff. He doesn't even know what to think about that. He just had to stop at the... Really? Really? That's where the glove is? That's it. That's happening. We see a red boomerang and a blue tunic from Sahasrarla. Thanks, buddy. I wonder if we'll see an Eastern Palace play next. And Ender going to be dropping probably... Okay. At this moment, he does have access to the Dark World. I would have liked to seen a drip right into there, but at the same time, you don't want to put off all your Light World locations too long, because you never know what you're going to find. We didn't really get anything too valuable in Mini Moldern Cave, so... But we'll see if we'll get a fake flipper play from Ender. While Zaen is going to be heading into Eastern Palace. Ooh, he's got to be careful. I'd switch to those bombs. Range weapons are the way to go sometimes. There you go. That's what I like to see. Get that double. Go get that double. Fine. Doesn't have to be double. Oh, and a big key in the first chest of Eastern Palace. Nice. If only this was a go mode, dungeon to go mode, this would be the one. Oh, that choice heart refill from getting all the heart pieces. See, sometimes it's worth picking up heart pieces along the way, because that was a good safety right there. Alright, what does Eastern Palace have? We know where the glove is, but there still could be something more hidden within this Light World locations. A lot of times people will consider Eastern Palace as more of a just overworld than anything else. But the real question is, will we be seeing any dark rooms from Zaen, or is he going to bail out? We are still looking for 2 more items in this dungeon, 3 more items in this dungeon, so... And next Ender will be picking up his heart piece from Ice Rock Cave. He's got to be careful here, those crabs will get you. Nobody likes dying to crabs. Oh, nice. 20 rupees. And I was looking away. What did Zaen find? Did he find anything useful? I don't see anything on the tracker, so I'm going to go with a no. 50 rups. Nice. 10 arrows? Oh, man. Eastern Palace, looking like a bust. We will have to come back here for a crystal, but he's going to go with the sequence break. Who knows? This could be the answer. Because, what, Armos could have the map at this point? I wonder if Ender's going to continue with this route here, or if he's going to just check Sahasrara and then go to the Dark World. Because you got to be thinking, I have Dark World access. You know, Hype Cave is hype for a reason, right? It's in the name. But we'll see. Looks like he's going to stick it out. Who knows what are we going to find? Oh, just a heart piece. So Eastern Palace, for items, 100% complete bust. And it looks like Ender is also going to be making that play. I don't know if he will be doing the Dark Rooms or not, but this is good for Zaen. He will be able to catch up a little bit, because it looks like he is either going to be going over and checking Agna, which is, yeah, looks like he's going to be doing that, so. Because at this point, what options does he have? He can either sequence break with the fake flipper stuff, or he can go check Agna. So obviously this is a much smarter play. But yeah, that's one of the things about Randomizer. A lot of times you'll be playing and then all of a sudden you'll just hit a roadblock. And there's only one location left to check. A glove could have easily have been in Eastern Palace, but it, for some reason, was placed in here. But yeah, with this, Zaen could take the lead depending on his next play. I mean, with the gloves in hand, that also opens up the back of Escape. You could sequence break up to Death Mountain, or Dark World access from Village of Outcast, or right in front of Link's house. And it looks like he's going to go for the Escape play. I'm getting a little kiss from the princess, little heart refill. Poor priest. No love for him. I stand corrected. Is this a trip straight to Village of Outcast? It looks like it, yeah. It's a good play. Village of Outcasts is one of those locations that just oftentimes has a lot of good stuff. We'll see if it pays off this time. Because there's kind of two thoughts to this process. It's like, if you have Dark World access and you have a hammer, you could either like go south of Link's house and then do Hype Cave up to Digging Game. But you only really want to do that if you already have the mirror, because then you could just mirror and then go up and do Village of Outcasts, as opposed to saving and quitting and then walking back over. And here we go, Dark World. What do we got? Ooh, woo, woo. We got green pendant, Thieves Town, blue pendant, Mire. 5 and 6 are Skull Woods and T-Rock. Well then, what does that tell us, guys? Let's start already. Let's talk about that pedestal already. We're still missing quite a few things before we can really consider the pedestal. But as of right now, we know... Man, well, we can clear all of Thieves Town, so that's... Oh, man. So what do you do? Do you make the full Thieves Town play? I'd say yes, especially with it being a green pendant. Oh man, 400 rupees from the chess game, and Ender ZX getting his heart piece in Eastern Palace. Let's see where he goes next. I personally would like to see a trip into Escape. Who knows, that could be big for him if he finds something in there. And that looks like that's what we're going to be getting. Village of Outcasts. Not really holding much yet. These players also still looking for a sword. But then again, we're only 20 minutes in. There's still plenty of time. Ooh, nobody likes seeing that small key. Oh, a double heart piece. Gross. So that means the middle chest in the sewers is an item. Is it a good item? We don't know. And it looks like Ender is also going to be making the Village of Outcasts trip. So he will be just shortly behind Zaen in this trek to find all the stuff that they need to beat the game. Oh, wow, there's a hookshot. Pendant Thieves Town coming into play. Now, at this point, after the players finish this Thieves Town, what do you think we'll do next? Make a trip all the way down to Hype Cave? There's a lot of Dark World stuff, but all of a sudden getting that hookshot, that's making me think, I should go and do Death Mountain. I could even sequence break to get up there, and then hookshot across and check all that other stuff. That could actually lead you all the way up to Tower of Hera. Of course, without a fire source, Tower of Hera does not look as appetizing, just in case you're required to do that basement. Oh, Zaen. Oh, man. I think he's going for the Death Mountain play. Oh, nope. He's going to go for the Hype Cave, then. Interesting choice. I guess it makes sense. Because now you can go Hype Cave to Digging Game, and that just clears everything up, and then you don't have to worry about... Oh, and he's also got the ferry, so Death Warping out of Thieves Town isn't really a convenience. But yeah, we'll see if Ender makes the choice of doing all of the dungeon. And we can also find out if the play of once you start a pendant dungeon, finish it, will be coming into play today. Will the play come into play? We'll find out. Whoop. Hey! Alright. Our first sword in Hype Cave. And just think, Ender could have had that sword before going into Eastern. But I don't disagree with clearing Light World before diving into Dark World, because as we all know, as soon as you start doing Dark World stuff, it's really hard to... You're already putting the Light World stuff like in the back of your mind. You're already forgetting about it, so... Getting an extra long map check from Ender, probably writing these down, or popping them on his tracker, whichever one he is using. Not so much else going on in the Dark World in the south route to Kakariko. Let's see if the Digging Game has anything to offer. How many digs is it going to be? I like it when it's less than 10. It's very hilarious. Speaking of, less than 10. Alright, 4 digs today. Nice. Zaen will probably be... It's either going to be a trip into Escape, or it's going to be up to Death Mountain at this point. Let's see where he goes. Looks like it's going to be Escape. Of course, he's not going to find anything in there except for a couple heart pieces, but I wonder if he will make the play to... It's kind of a weird route to take. If he'll make the play to check that middle chest. We've already seen one dark room from him. Well, we've seen dark rooms from both of these players, but Ender decided to say, no. I'm not going to do the sewer part. That part's no fun. Looks like he's going for it. This could be big. And it looks like, yes, Ender is going to be clearing Thieves Town for the most part, as far as we know. Let's see how this goes. We've only seen, what, 2 items in this dungeon at this point? 1 or 2. I know we saw Hookshot, but what else? Only 1. Okay, so that Thieves Town big chest got super, super spicy all of a sudden. Oof. Dang it, Patrick. Work with me here. Thankfully for that blue tunic, though. That is going to reduce a lot of damage But Ender's going to have to be careful. 3 hearts is not it's not a safe amount of health to finish this dungeon off. And let's see. I think Zaen is real close to finding that chest. He's right there. He's just getting bopped by snakes over and over again. He's looking for it. Can he find it? Oh, it's the cape! Wow. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing a bumper cave check from him as soon as possible. Maybe. And Ender picking up the lamp in Thieves Town, which, you know, would have been convenient for Zaen had he stuck it out. But that's the luck of the draw sometimes. And that lamp will also kind of, yeah, it'll send you up to Death Mountain. Zaen going to be going up there anyway without it, so at this point, though, lamp is more than just a luxury. It's more than just a light source. It is a source of fire. Fire that we might need to complete this game. And this will be Zane's 3rd dark room. Oh, the mushroom. That's an awkward one to find. How do you route in a trip to the witch's hut? And a little bit of love from the little old man. Actually, that was more like a lot of love. Ender picking up a few hearts along the way. Always nice to have extra safeties. And a sword! Woohoo! Wow. Alright, Green Pen at Thieves Town. Lots of stuff. We got a hook shot. We got a mushroom. We got a lamp. We got a sword. And we don't even know what Sahasrahla is going to be holding on to at this point. That green pendant could come into play. We could get 5 items from this dungeon alone. Zaen gonna be heading over, checking East Death Mountain. Let's see what we got over there. But yeah, if Ender follows his gut, well, I don't know about follow. If he makes his way south down to Hype Cave, he will be walking away with a Master Sword. Let's see how this blind fight goes. I'm sure he is ecstatic to find that sword before this fight because it makes it so much easier. Hammer strats, not bad, but not ideal. One more hit. There we go. Blind is down. Oh, wow, the boots. So this game wants you to go into Thieves Town, complete it, then go straight up to Death Mountain. With that lamp in hand, it's saying, hey, you got the glove, you got the lamp, you got the hook shot, go up to Death Mountain. There's candy up there. And boots. Oh, I like that. Zaen switching to the red boomerang just in case. He's only got 2 bombs, though now he's up to 5. So he didn't want to take that chance. And a green potion. It's always good to have. Now, I wonder what his route will be. Is he going to make his way over to Hera first, or is he going to do Spiral Cave and come back later? You would think he would go right into Hera. It is a crystal dungeon. It is required. Oh, wow. There is the bow. The bow on the floating island. So we will be coming back here once we have Titan Mitts and the mirror. No doubt. Who knows? Maybe Hera is the answer. Hera holding the Titan Mitts. Oh, man. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if the Titan Mitts and the mirror were in this dungeon? That would be extra convenient. But no, we are going to get more bombs. And it looks like Ender will be making his way over to Hype Cave. Though taking a scenic route instead of using his glove to shorten it up a bit. But hey, just wanted to kill some stuff along the way. But he'll be picking up his Master Sword here shortly. I wonder what his next play is going to be. Well, as of right now, we know that fire is not needed to complete Hera, but depending on where the last item is located, there could be something important in that basement. And Ender picking up his Master Sword. Oh, wow. There it is. Zaen already forgetting that he had already seen both items. Actually, not only seen, but he has gotten both items. Picking up Ether Medallion. We don't know of its value yet. But yeah, no need of a fire source for this dungeon. And it looks like Ender is going to be making his play up to Death Mountain, where he will be getting his boots and his Ether. Now the question is, where are the other swords? Because this could easily be one of those seeds where swords are in G Tower, and that Master Sword in Thieves Town is like gonna be just sitting there. Nobody wants to do Fighter Sword throughout like the entire run. Zaen gonna head back on over and finish up Spiral Cave. And then from that point, what are we gonna see next? We still haven't seen Skullwoods. With Cape in hand, which he got from sequence breaking through Escape, we could see something easily on the Bumper Cave. There's also worth considering, with Cape in hand, that Spike Cave is now an option as well for him. Alright, nothing but rupees. Looking like we're going to get a save and quit. I mean, if you want to do hammer strats on Vitreous, be my guest. Though last night in a race, I had Fighter Sword. I had still, it's the worst when you go into a boss fight unprepared, and you pop into Vitreous, and you're like, all right, cool, I got silver arrows. We got silver arrows. Speaking of, and you go in there and you're like, I only have 8 arrows, and I need 10 arrows to beat this boss. Mistakes were made. But yeah, Zaen picking up silver arrows, and we know where the bow is, so that is a nice find. And you're about to pick up his boots. It looks like he might be making the trip over to the pyramid. Who knows? We might even see a catfish from him as well. I'm interested to see what his choice is. Ah, yes, Ender making the mistake. You cannot hookshot that switch. You can only... You got a few options, but hookshot is not one of them. I don't know how that makes sense, because you can't really... If you can't hookshot across, you shouldn't be able to boomerang across, unless you're, like, lobbing the boomerang. Boomerangs just don't work that way. Honestly, the only thing that makes sense would be throwing a bomb, since you would assume you'd throw a bomb up and over. But you can't hookshot up and over, and you can't boomerang up and over. Come on, game designers. Get with the program. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a pod play from Zaen. It's a pretty crazy play at this point. Without a bow, he knows where it is, but without a bow, he will not be able to do too much in this dungeon. Particularly based on the logic. Depending on what keys he gets in what order, he might be able to skip a few things. Oh, Ender going with the Spiral Cave first. And I don't think he actually looked and saw the bow on Floating Island, so hopefully he makes his trip back around and sees it. Because that's like super juicy information. And speaking of juicy information that we haven't seen yet, we also haven't seen what is on... Well, we haven't seen what is on Lake Hylia Island. Of course, neither player is even equipped to go check that, but having that information is always nice. Well, fortunately for Zaen, bow is not required yet for Pod. It is not bow locked. That small key in the first chest makes it a little bit available, but we'll see what else we can find in here. All right, Ender, go check. Go look at that floating island. Otherwise, we'll yell at you. He's not doing it. No, Ender, why? It takes 5 seconds. It takes less than 5 seconds. Well, I guess it depends on the dead rocks. They could easily get in the way. All right. Well, this might come back to bite him in the butt later. A small shield for your trouble. Pod is not looking very fun. But it looks like he's going to go back up, go around, and go across the bridge. He still has access to at least 3 more chests, possibly 4, depending on key placement. Ender making his way up to Tower of Hera. Through Tower of Hera, he's going to be picking up his Ether Medallion soon. And we'll probably have a little bit easier of a time, ideally a little bit easier of a time on Moldorn having that Master Sword in hand. But who knows, he might use hammer strats since he still has his hammer out in his hand. Zaen going downstairs to check 2 chests in the dark. As we all know, the lamp was in Thieves' Town, which Zaen decided not to finish, where he missed out on a lamp, a mushroom, and a second sword. We got some rupees. What else we got? We got a compass. Now, will he check this single chest down here, or is he going to pop into the dark maze? Ooh, what's it going to be? It's a small key. Well, that worked out. All right, we're going to be seeing some dark rooms coming up. Or a hammer jump? Ooh. No. Where's he going? Is he going to hammer jump with Boo? Does he know that setup? Well, I'll be. He doesn't have big key, but he will be able to route this a little bit easier and save a small key for later. Just in case when he comes back. If he comes back in go mode, he might not have to check that whole bow-locked part of the dungeon. He did not get it. Looked like he was off by a pixel. He's going to go ahead and try again. Now, for anyone wondering, all of these locations that he is checking past this bridge, I believe, are, by the logic, bow-locked. But seeing as he knows where the bow is, that could potentially give him information about where we can find other, or where items can't be, depending on what he finds in here. But first he has to get through this dark maze. I have no idea what he got. Looks like Ender is going to go make his trip to the witch's hut to turn in the mushroom. And a heart container. So unfortunately for him, finding nothing really except for a small shield, which you'd rather just not have at all at that point. Let's see what his next play is going to be. Let's see if this mushroom is a big part. It's... Oh my gosh! Oh man, Thieves' Town. Let's talk about value. Mushroom from Thieves' Town. Titan Mitts. Ender, ZX. Huge lead. Once you start a pendant dungeon, finish it. You never know what you're going to find. And he's going to go ahead and go with the Zora play at this point. With Titan Mitts in hand, he needs the mirror steel to get that bow, which he never saw. But who knows? If we can find a mirror in here, that might actually send him back up to Death Mountain to go check all that stuff. Nice little hammer dash from Zaen as he heads back into Village of Outcasts. He will probably be heading up into Skull Woods at this point, which is also a good play. Let's see what he finds. Especially with that Cane of Samaria, it makes checking that one annoying room where you have to put the statue on the switch, it makes it a little bit quicker because you can just pretend like the statue doesn't exist. Ooh. Not as bad as Life Lessons, but pretty dang close. Well, Ender, you just got the Titan Mitts. What are you going to do with all of those chest locations now? Zaen have to be a little bit careful. Oh man, he's heading back up there. Now, here's the thing though. Will he get bailed out and find a mirror in the Dark World section? Or will he miss checking that bow a second time? Okay, good. He's gonna go... This is perfect, because he's gonna take the T-Rock portal, which he will see what's on the floating island. So he will find that information about the bow. And Skull Woods not really having any value yet. Moment of truth. Ender, what are you gonna see? It's the bow! yeah, do that double take. You're like, wait, what? There's a bow there the whole time? How did I miss that the first time? The double take was great. This is also nice, because we'll be able to find out what medallion we need for T-Rock. If it's Ether, I wonder if we'll see a quick trip right in there or not. Okay, it is Bombos. So we will be coming back for that once we get that. Now, I missed it on Zane's side. Did he find anything in that Skullwoods location or not? Doesn't look like anything really. Another potion. Oh man, we're looking for a mirror. No mirror. Oh, and only a blue rupee. So, if I'm counting correctly, I would assume that the last item in Skull Woods is going to be in the Fire Rod section. Now, Zaen could get a huge advantage if there's something on Bumper Cave at this moment. Oh, there's the flippers. You know... No, never mind. I was like, Ice Palace? I'm like, wait, no, we don't have any fire sources yet. Alright, well, Bumper Cave, a bit of a bust, unfortunately, so that cape that he found is not going to help him out at all. Not quite yet. So it looks like Zaen is going to be making his way back into Thieves Town because he doesn't really have any options at this moment. Oh, and we're going to see what's on that Lake Hylia Island. What's it going to be? It's a heart container. Not bad. It's a nice one to have. Now, something worth thinking, with Boots in hand and Moonpearl, had our players decided to go check Zora, like this area, prior to getting the flippers, you know, you can go pretty fast when you do that whole water walking, as opposed to swimming, but yeah. Nobody likes to sequence break, nobody likes to fake flipper. Another bottle! Wow, almost vanilla. Thanks, Hopo. So Zaen heading back, double the second trip into Thieves Town. He's going to have to be careful. He does have that ferry, so if he takes a death, it's not going to be too bad. He is going to be picking up his lamp next, followed by a mushroom, and what was the other item? And a sword, and his second sword. So he will be catching up. And yeah, this is just one of those points where you kind of bottleneck, and you don't really have any other options. So, ooh, oh, that's rough. Getting sniped by a lizard thing. Oh, look at the little RIP, little gravestone. Bombs? Bombos! Oh no. Oh man. Okay, here's what I was saying. Now go back in the Whirlpool, go straight into Ice Palace. Ice Palace is your next play. No, 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 no! Ice Palace! Ice Palace! Ice Palace. I would pick Ice Palace over... because that also unlocks T-Rock, but without Fire Rod, T-Rock, you're not going to get too far unless there's a Fire Rod in T-Rock. But this is fine. Ender's going to... oh, he's going to go turn in his green pendant. Let's find out if Thieves Town actually has 6 items instead of just 5. Own the truth. Ah, just a piece of heart. Nice to refill, though. Zaen picking up his Master Sword, and he's going to be picking up his Mushroom next. It's normally 4, but remember, he picked up a Mushroom, which led to the Mitts. Therefore, it was 5. Come on, guys, pay attention. Oh man, Ender seeing that Bombos and immediately thinking, hey, T-Rock might be the play. It's not a bad choice. I guess it's one of those things where if you don't feel comfortable doing Ice Palace, you'd rather go into a dungeon you don't actually plan on completing, as opposed to having to complete all of Ice Palace with a Master Sword and no Fire Rod. Because that's going to make for a hard battle. Alright, Zaen picking up his green pendant. Now we need him to turn in that mushroom ASAP, and he probably will. He doesn't really have any choices. This is it. This is the moment. Now, what do you think we're going to find in the first chest in T-Rock? I could easily see that being like a flute, maybe. If there's a Fire Rod in here, then wow. Zaen going with the green pendant check first. Zaen picking up his heart piece from Sahasrahla. Thanks, bud. See ya. And I'll off to go turn in his mushroom, where he will be getting his Titan Mitts. Oh! Alright, just a small key. That's fine. That gets you into Chain Chomp Room, at least. And, you know, in the past, I've seen Chain Chomp Room have some valuable items. It could be another small key, which would send him downstairs. Who knows? We might have one of those wacky seeds where the 2 chests on the right are like both junk items or something, so... Oh, and Ender realizing he doesn't have a Fire Rod. Fire Rod's like the best way to take care of the Pokies, if you don't have a Tempered Sword. Zaen picking up his Titan Mitts here in a few seconds. Where is he going to go next? Chain Chomp Room, what do you got? Another key. We keep going. The journey continues. Now, if only he had a mirror, so he could include a trip into Mimic Cave at this point. Well, at this rate, unless there's a big key on the right side, we're not going to be going any further after this next chest. Or unless the big key is right here. Zaen heading up. He's going to be picking up... What did he find up here? I don't remember finding anything of it. 100% of value. Compass. A dead end. Unfortunate. T-Rock, huge gamble. Didn't pay off. Next up, Ice Palace. Going from there. Zaen picking up his flippers, which we know led to Bombos. Ender, oh, he's gonna go get his cape. Not a bad idea either. Because at this point, Spike Cape is still on the menu. It's still a possibility. But it's definitely one of those locations you kind of want to save till last. But Zaen might go ahead and check it out. I wonder if he'll check it out after Hookshot Cave. Imagine Mirror being in Spike Cave. Spike Cave suddenly became available after getting the lamp in Thieves Town to go back to where Ender is going right now, which was blocked by lamp, technically. I wonder if we'll see a Spike Cave play from Ender before we see a trip to Ice Palace. People don't like Ice Palace, so I hear. Oh, I guess at this point we also have the Blacksmith's King's Tomb, which is where Ender's heading right now. And Purple Chest. Of course, saving the Blacksmith and doing Purple Chest is not very convenient without a mirror. Involves a lot of save and quits. Ooh, that snipe. I see what he was trying to do, but it didn't happen. Alright, what's King's Tomb gonna have? Something good? It's got a fire rod! Wow. Well, that's just one of those moments where you think, okay, I know V26. V26 is gonna put stupid stuff that I need in dungeons. Nope. It's not. It's not gonna do it when you want it to do it. It's gonna put fire rod out in the overworld. Just to fool you. Ender going back, getting some help. I wonder if this will be a Skull Woods play now. It would make sense. He's in the vicinity. And Zaen heading down where he's going to be picking up his Bombos medallion. Let's see what he does next. Also, with Mitz being this far into the seed, it is easy, very easy to forget about King's Tomb. It's just a single location. Oftentimes, you like to do that at the same time as checking North of Graveyard when you have the mirror. It's hard to remember everything that you can do. So we will be seeing a full clear of Skull Woods from Ender. I would assume, since we did find the big key, I wonder if he'll backtrack to go check the big key chest before heading over to fight Mothula. Now, this isn't an easy fight, especially with only Master Sword. So he's gonna have to bring his A game to take care of this Mothula fight. Of course, at the same time, he does... I believe both players have found 4 bottles. So they've found plenty of safeties. And with 1,600 rupees, that also gives them a lot of options. Now look at this. Zaen making the trip into King's Tomb. He's going to get his Fire Rod. And that's going to actually help him save a little bit of time here. So that trip into T-Rock by Ender, cutting his lead tremendously in this race right now. It's also worth noting that we are almost 55 minutes in, and our players each only have 1 crystal, I believe. That's kind of telling of what kind of seed we're going to have today. All right, Zaen making the move up to Skull Woods, where I believe... Oh! He's Changing his mind. He's saying, there's only one item there. Let's go do the blacksmith. Oh, and we're actually gonna go back and is Skullwoods? No, Skullwoods is a crystal dungeon. Now here's what I think. Here's my little tip. Not really a tip. My thought process when it comes to my tiny little thought process when it comes to the bug net. When dealing with a crystal Skullwoods is that unless you've already if it's your first time into Skullwoods, it might be smarter just to go straight for the Mothula play, assuming that he has an item. Because then you can actually, depending on where that big key was, which ended up being its vanilla location, you can actually skip a few stuff along the way. You work back to front. Of course, with Pendant, Skullwoods, you might work differently, but that's my thought process for Crystal. Yeah, it looked like Zaen just wanted to check the Peg Caves, which, Peg Caves is just one of those locations that tends to have stuff fairly often. And it had a bug net this time, so it had something. Just wasn't anything useful. Now, I would love to see a mirror on Mothula, because that would send our players back up to go get that bow, which would send us back into... We know Eastern Palace doesn't have any more items, but then we could finish a pod where Zane's going to have the advantage there, seeing as he's already done most of it. Yeah, our players were neck and neck, but it looks like Ender is going to go ahead and check this item first. Who knows? It could be a useful item that might help him in the fight, or it could be... can't really be a small key. I think we found all the small keys. I stand corrected. It was a small key. Wonderful. Oh man, Zaen out of magic. Probably see a green green potion use from him. Oh man, this is a very, very friendly Mothula. He is saying, please hit me. I want to keep going into the middle so that you don't hit me into the spikes. But Zane's got to be careful. I believe he still has a fairy. I could be wrong. But he is playing... Wow. Good play. Finished off Mothula and getting a red rupee. Skullwoods was a bust. How unfortunate. We got a red and a blue rupee. Oh no, and Ender getting hit by the bunny beam. Gonna have to take an extra bit of heart just to speed it up. Wow, look at that. 2 fairies, 2 greens. Oh, careful. Oh. Alright, where's Zaen gonna head to next? I believe... Well, with Fire Rod in hand, T-Rock is a little bit more open, but nobody's ready to make the Ice Rod play yet. Especially... yeah, I wouldn't. Bombos looks like... Or not Bombos. Ice Palace looks like the correct play to make here. Oh, and Ender taking a death. Using up one of his fairies. He now has 1 fairy left at this point. So at this point, I think it's fair to say that Zaen is now in the lead. Evening things up, Zaen clearing a good portion of Pod while Ender cleared a good portion of T-Rock. Both players making very, very good gambles that just didn't work. Just didn't pay off, so... Alright, Ice Palace, what do you got for us? We are looking for some things, like a mirror. Only getting a heart piece, 2 items left in here. Now, if we don't... I feel like at this point we have to find something in here, unless the real play is the T-Rock play. It could be a forced double dip into T-Rock. We've seen those happen before. And with Cape in hand, that does open up the Laser Bridge as an option. Because more than likely, unless we get 2 shields in here, it doesn't look like shields are going to be our option for the Laser Bridge. Now, Ender is making his way back. I don't know if he's checked Bumper Cave at this point, so he might be doing that next. We still do have the blacksmiths as an option at this point. Oh, nice. Zaen, well, Zaen getting a really, you know, the sweet pixel there, but the timing of the little jellies not really working in his favor. Zaen pulling off the first try, Ice Pal's bomb jump, making it look easy. Grabbing hard along the way and dodging that fire bar. And it looks like Ender's going to be making his play into Ice Palace next as well. Or where's he going? He's picking up a potion. Not a bad play. He's probably thinking, not comfortable with Master Sword, Cold Stare. I would like some health. Now, something I like to point out for anyone watching, a good simple trick to do to get to the Witch's Hut from Link's house super fast is there is a whirlpool just south of Link's house. You know where you usually go to get into the Dark World? It's right next to there. And if you can actually set up a fake flipper to get there, but since our players have flippers, they could easily do that. And it teleports you right outside of the Witch's Hut, the little whirlpool there. You just climb up the ladder and you go over there. All right, we still are looking for stuff in Ice Palace. Not finding much. We found what? 2 small keys and a heart piece? What's next? We got a dungeon map. We've got a compass. All right, so we still don't have that big key yet. Now, yeah, perfect. So since Zaen had already killed the 2 Freezors, what he can do is fall down here and then go straight south, so he can check that one chest with the blue jellies, backtrack, and then he can just hookshot straight across to get back to the spot above the big chest. Now, at this point, I would assume that this has to be the big key, so you can get the big chest. But that would mean that Cold Stare is going to have one of the items. I wonder what it's going to be. Because at this point, what else do we have left for options? We have the blacksmith. That's it. I believe that's it. And T-Rock. Deeper into T-Rock. We just need to check the right side in T-Rock, where we will get our big key, and then who knows, we could actually see something on the Laser Bridge. What's it gonna be? Oh man, a single arrow. Wow, that's just rude. All right, well, Zaen not picking up any extra safeties, but then again, he hasn't used any of his potions yet. He hasn't used any of his bottles yet. Well, that's something you don't see. It looks like Ender is not doing the Ice Palace bomb jump. I don't know if it's just a matter of not knowing it or not feeling comfortable with it. But I guess when you're going to 100% the dungeon anyway, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Oh no, Zaen missing that first little spin on him to lock him in the corner and get a lot of free hits. He's going to have to be extra careful. He does have Blue Mail, but Blue Mail doesn't do that much. I believe with green mail it does 4 hearts, blue mail does 3 hearts, and red mail does 2 hearts. Oh, that's 1 down. That's 2 down. 1 more to go. That's it. Nice. Very, very good work. And we get a beautiful, terrifying-looking version of Boo every time he picks up that crystal. He looks a little too happy. Yeah, that was a very nice fight for Master Sword, not having to utilize any of his bottles. Oh, man. Well, is that... Oh, wow. So, Cold Stare having nothing. So, it was the T-Rock play. T-Rock is the next play. Unless... Oh, okay. All right. Hold on, Will. Calm down. We're not... Was that a... Anyway, we're not done yet. There's still some locations left to check. Only a heart piece from Spike Cave. Alright, Zaen, what's the next play? Looks like he's gonna go for the blacksmiths. So this is coming down... Oh wait, has he... Oh, I guess there's still Pyramid and Catfish at this point. Maybe just Catfish. The one, the only. Catfish. Looks like it. Now, if this is holding us up, that'd be pretty big. He is kind of out of the way. People don't like to go to Catfish, like, ever. He's not really that convenient to route in. Mirror could be at Catfish. It could be at the blacksmiths. Could be in Purple Chest. Could be in T-Rock. Oh man, another heart piece. It's not what you want to see at this point. Now I wonder if after Cold Stare, if Ender is just going to go straight for the T-Rock play. He's already made it once before. That might make him not want to do it again. And it looks like Zaen is going to be heading up and checking T-Rock for the first time. You got to be thinking to yourself, like, okay, well, there's a lot of items in here. I can't beat it, but I don't really have any other choices, and the other choices I do have aren't really the greatest. All right, Ender going in with 2 hearts. He's got plenty of blue potions. He might pop one immediately. Oh, okay. Ender forgetting to switch to bombos. It looked... I'm not sure what was going on. He was having a... He was like, oh yeah, there's a giant boss right there. I should use bombos. Oh, God. He's giving chase. They don't... Oh, no. All right. That's fine. He still has 1 fairy, I believe. He's going to have to be careful, though. Yeah. Use up that magic before popping that blue potion. And now you got to use up your health before popping that blue potion. Ooh. I'd use it now. 3 hearts of damage is a lot. Gotta be careful. There's 1 down. There's 2 down. There's 3 down. We did it. Nice fight from Ender. Oh man, there was a small key there. So I guess we did find all 3 items then. Oh yeah, the first item was a heart piece. That's what I missed. Alright, we know that there's going to be a big key over here, but what else is going to be over in this section? What else is going to be fire rod blocked for our players? We are still looking for the mirror so we can get the bow. We are still looking for ice rod so we can beat this silly dungeon. That's it. We don't technically need the flute because Meyer is a pendant, but you never know. This could be one of those wacky seeds where you have to get the flute. Oh, it's just a small key. Where you have to like get the flute in G Tower to do something. I don't know. That's probably not going to happen though. Yeah, that would only really happen if it was like bow or something in a weird location. Because they have the means to... Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to calm down. We are now switching over to Zane's audio. Alright, so we know what we've seen in here. The middle chest holding just a compass. Still no mirror, so we can't check Mimic Cave. Still no ice rod. So no, can't beat this dungeon. As far as we know. Oh man, Ender going with the pod play instead. This is really bad for Ender. We know that there's nothing of value in there. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I already made the T-Rock play. I don't want to make it again. This is going to give Zaen an even larger lead at this point. Especially depending on what he finds here. Now, as of right now, these players in their group, Ender leads his group 2-0, while Zaen is middle of the row with a 1-1. So with a victory here, Zaen would move into 2-1, and Ender would move into 2-1. Therefore tying them both for first place in their group. Oh. Alright guys, what do you think? What do you think we're going to find in here? Other than a heart container. Are we going to find the ice rod? And this is going to be Fat Fairy check. Because if we can complete this dungeon, then that opens up Double-Chested Fairy. That's 2 more items. We could find a flute, which would send us to Meyer to go do other stuff. We could find the mirror, which our players would be able to immediately go get the bow after finishing this dungeon. We still have 2 other pendant dungeons that we haven't even looked at. Because, frankly, we don't have a way to get to them yet. Which is a very interesting situation to be in. Almost an hour and 15 minutes in, and still no access to 2 dungeons. And they both just so happen to be pendant dungeons. We could easily see them not being accessed at all throughout the entirety of the race. Which I'm sure the players would prefer, but as a viewer, A red rupee. What do we got? Another key. Zaen taking the safety. He does have a safety fairy, though. I believe, already. And if he ends up finding the mirror... Well, let's see. Let's see what we got first. Quake, which we don't know if is useful or not. What else? Oh, half a heart left. Better make it count. The shovel! Wow! Fetch quest. That's gotta be something good, right? What a jerk seed. Now imagine if this is a 100% bust and the answer was actually at the blacksmith's. Alright, moment of truth. What's in that shovel? Spot. What are we gonna dig up? Is it gonna be a mirror? It's a mirror! There it is! Zaen picking up his mirror. What a horrible, horrible thing to make our players do. Why? How could you do this? Because now he's got to go all the way back up just to get his bow, to go all the way back over to do Eastern and Pod. And at that point, I'm sure we will find an ice rod around there somewhere, or at least something to get an ice rod. And they're finally making his choice to go up to T-Rock. Hopefully he heads there instead of going to Spike Cave. He might be able to make a little bit of time, especially since he's already completed a good portion of T-Rock. He's not going to be too far behind, but it really depends on this choice he makes next, and it looks like he's going to be going for the Spiral Cave play next. Hopefully, after doing that, he will save and quit, go back to the mountain, and head to T-Rock. So as far as we know, Eastern Palace does not have an extra item. I believe we've seen all three. I could be wrong. Armos could have something. I could be wrong. Pod, on the other hand, we still have 3 more chests, including one of them at Helmassar. And this also opens up Swamp Palace as an option, too. So the question is, where are we going to find our Ice Rod? Because at this point, that is the go mode item that we need. Of course, both of our players probably would prefer to have an extra sword as well. And it looks like Ender is going to go for the Blacksmith's play next. If they end up holding anything of value, that might be good for Ender. He might be able to save some time. And it looks like, to me, is he going straight? He might be going straight for the Swamp House play. Now this is a big play. It's a good one. Nobody likes doing a full clear of Swamp Palace, but we need to do it. Now, if... Oh, it looks like Ender psyched me out, is going for the Catfish play. And you're picking up his heart piece. He's probably wondering, do I want to do this? Do I need to go back into... I don't know if I want to do this. while Zaen is looking for his Ice Rod. Now, here's the thing. If he's intending to full clear Swamp Palace, he might skip left side. But if he's intending to full clear it, as opposed to... Because we could finish Eastern, and we could finish Pod. Pod only having maybe 1 or 2 items. I didn't count 100%. He's probably still in the back of his head thinking, I am looking for a sword too. So I don't mind doing a full clear of this dungeon if it also gets me my Ice Rod and a sword. But if he full clears this dungeon and finds nothing but a crystal, that might actually give Ender some time to catch up, depending on his choices. Now, if the blacksmiths, which this is going to be a huge time commitment, unless he's just checking peg caves, but if he ends up doing the whole blacksmiths thing, and it ends up getting him an Ice Rod, that would be good. Imagine being able to do Swamp Palace in Go mode. Wow, a book. Oh no. That's not what you want to see at all. That is awful. That just means more potential garbage items to go check. But at this point, who knows? There could be a sword, there could be an Ice Rod, there could be anything in those tablets. But that could also mean an extra trip back up to Death Mountain, which we've already done too many. Now, for the sake of an entertaining and close race, I am hoping that these blacksmiths are holding something of value, ideally an Ice Rod for Ender. We've already seen Fire Rod in the overworld as, you know, a pretty good location. This could be the next one. But yeah, just looking at how long this takes to check everything when you don't have a mirror. While Zaen, if he ends up having to check Blacksmith, will be able to save time because he'll be able to mirror and do it quicker. Ooh, just a heart container. The quickest of blacksmiths. There. Is that better? Oh, and there it is. The Ice Rod. Left side Swamp Palace. Wow. Zaen now in go mode at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and some odd seconds. Like 8. But this is looking rough for Ender at this point. We know where the Ice Rod is. We know where the mirror is. You know, they need to come up with some sort of fancy glitch that allows you to dig up stuff without actually finding the shovel. Just think of the sequence breaks we could have. Even if Ender ends up finding, like, a tempered sword from Purple Chest, that just won't be enough at this point. Zaen checking a few extra chests, looking for that tempered sword just to make things a little bit easier for him. Master Sword cannon is not the worst thing, but it's still not ideal. What do you got, Ender? Oh, just a fire shield. That's heartbreaking. If there's anything you don't want to find, it's another shield. So that's it for Ender. He is blocked by that mirror location. He has nothing else he can check. He has to go back into T-Rock. He has to go back to that laser bridge. Zaen trying to utilize that Fire Rod on Argus. Otherwise, it's going to take a few spins. He could do silvers, but to skip out on menu time, he's just going to go with a few spins. Picking up a bomb capacity upgrade along the way. Well, that's it for Swamp Palace. All he has left to do is finish Eastern, finish Pod, and go back and finish T-Rock, which will conveniently put him right there outside of G-Tower. Ender now making his way back into T-Rock. Couple crystal dungeons behind. It also will depend on what choices he makes next once he finds that mirror. Because there are still a few extra overworld locations he could do after you get it. I gotta say, Zaen definitely lucking out with finding the Ice Rod in Swamp Palace, as well as that book, therefore ruling out the book being useful at all. Ender taking his anger out on the big chest, or the chest that held the big key. He said, if I had you earlier, things would have been different. Zaen heading back into Palace of Darkness. Having already completed all... Well, both players pretty much completed all that they could in this dungeon prior to finishing it. And the big key was not to be found, so we know it is in the Bowlock section, which is where Zaen is heading right now. Good of him to remember, because I had forgotten. So Ender has to get to the laser bridge to find the shovel, to go dig up the dirty mirror, to go straight into Swamp, to get the Ice Rod on the left side, far left chest in Ice Palace. Zaen getting a little ahead of himself, hitting the switch by accident. All he's got left to do is kill Helmisar, finish off Armos Knights, and then head up, finish off Trinex. So to go back and think about how the seed played out, it was required Green Pendant Thieves Town to get Lamp, the second sword, and the mushroom, which led them to the Titan Myths. All very, very, very important to routing this game. Yeah, based on this time, this is going to be pretty good for Zaen once he gets through and clears off Trinex. I mean, the thing is, a second trip into T-Rock once you've completed all of it is not too bad. There was... The only thing that was required was a double dip into T-Rock, I believe. Because Eastern Palace had nothing. So yeah, only forcing one double dip is actually quite friendly. Alright, Ender going to be picking up, I believe... The shovel is in the next one. Zaen finishing off Helmisar. What's he going to get? He's going to get half magic! That's a nice one to have. Oh yeah, picking up his useless Quake Medallion. Oh no! Getting shot off and taking another hit from the laser whilst falling. That is an unfortunate scenario, and good thing he set up the safety door. This area is rough. This area can be, the laser bridge can be pretty rough if you don't know the laser skip with the boots or you don't have enough magic. There's his shovel. He's saying, I'm not ready to concede to that. Taking another death. Oh no. You hate to see that. I believe he has potions. He could pop a blue potion. Or he could just walk right on in there. That's nice. I believe there is still one more item, and he's got to be careful. He's only got one heart left. Zaen making his way up. And Ender choosing to end it, as opposed to trying again. All for that red rupee. Alright, time to go get that mirror, and then it really depends. What is Ender's next play going to be? At this point, I can't really humor the thought of Ender making a huge comeback. So when I'm referring to that, I'm referring to at least finishing as close to possible, because Zaen is taking a tremendous lead, especially with those unfortunate deaths on Laser Bridge. And Silver Arrows coming into play, making that fight super free. With 36 arrows to spare, and Ender picking up his mirror, bombing the dig spot so that nothing can ever be buried there again, because that's how it works. At least in Hollywood. Going with a save and quit, what is his next play going to be? He's probably going to go get that bow. Now, more than likely with Ender, and most players, he might go ahead and finish out Pod and Eastern and just hope he finds an Ice Rod there. The problem with that is we know where the Ice Rod is. We just gotta hope that he makes the trip to Swamp Palace instead of choosing overworld locations. And are also going to be picking up an extra heart container on his way up here. While Zaen is making his trip back up for the second trip into T-Rock. The only forced double dip in this seed. Now, I guess the real next question is, where is that sword? Are we going to be finding another sword, or is this going to be a Master Sword Ganon all the way to the end? I'm also excited to see if Zaen or Ender will be pulling out the hammer strats on Trinex, because that is a very entertaining fight, in my opinion. Curious as to where Ender was going. Possibly getting confused. He's going straight to GT. He doesn't need those crystals. He's ready to go. He's ready to find that big key. Just wanted to get some Lionel hugs, maybe. Now, at this point, hour and 35 minutes, Zaen making his way to go get his 7th and last crystal. Ender still 4 crystals behind. He still has to finish Eastern, Pod, Swamp, and then back up to T-Rock. Let's see what his next play is going to be. It looks like he is going to be going for the Swamp Palace play. As long as he doesn't skip that left side, he should be good. And if he's not going to Swamp first, he might go check that one mirror spot south of dig site. You never know. He might be thinking there could be an Ice Rod there as well. Let's see what he does. Nope, he's going for it. He said, I've had enough overworld for one day. I am focusing on these dungeons that I have to complete anyway. It would be most convenient. It'd be most good if there was an Ice Rod within. And fortunately for him, there is. Alright, Zaen, let's see what kind of Trinex you got in store for us. Oh man, he is going for hammer strats, but he's going from the backdoor hammer strats. That makes it even more hype. I'm excited. Switching to the lamp by mistake. Still being able to get a pause off to switch to the fire rod. I am actually impressed. This is a lot better than I expected. I will have to try this next time. Ooh. Trinex taking a couple side steps away, saying, no, don't hit me. Zaen finishing off the blue-sided Trinex head. One last one to go. Setting up the spins. What a great Trinex fight. Switching to hammer. Taking a hit. One more to go. There it is. There's Trinex. I like the utilization of the back door. It was very nice. I might have to try that. Oh, wow. Wow, game. And for your troubles, here is a tempered sword. That right there, easily solidifying the rest of the seed for Zaen. Tempered Sword Silvers makes for a very easy Ganon. As well, having a Tempered Sword for the Gauntlet and just for G-Tower in general will speed things up a little bit. I guess after that double dip into T-Rock, they said, hey, sorry about that. Here's the prize. Please forgive me. Come play again. Also send money. Alright guys, at this point we gotta ask, what key do you think is going to be? What key location are we gonna get? What chest location? What are we doing? What year is it? Where's that big key at? Is it gonna be Bob's chest? Is it gonna be tile room? We're going past Ice Armos? I'll keep counting. Here we go. Going for the right side play first and Ender picking up that book. Chest number 1, holding a small key. Chest number 2, holding a bomb capacity upgrade. Taking a trip right into that spike. Showing him who's boss. Zaen going for the right side play with that small key in hand. Will he make the tile room visit or will he keep going? He's going! He's going to keep going. Tile room is always last. That is the rule. Light and torches. He's got half magic. He doesn't need that spare half magic refill in that pot. Next up is going to be chests number 4 through 8. 6. Wait. 3 through 7. No. 3 through... The next chests. Math is hard. Oh, and it looks like Ender is going to be making that play for the left side, and these Gibdos are bullying our boy Zaen. Who'd have thought that a mummy and a ghost will get in such a close fight? And it looks like the ghost has taken the victory over the Gibdos. Never to be seen again. Chest number 3, blue boomerang. Chest number 4, air upgrades. Chest 5, the powder. Chest 6, another bomb upgrade. Zaen, what are you going to do? Are you going to grab that small key mirror out and go to the left side, or are you going to make your trip all the way to Ice Armos and go for the craziest of gambles? He is going to mirror out. He is smarter than that. Ender, heading up. Going to be grabbing his Ice Rod next. Then he'll be able to full clear this dungeon, and by full clear, I mean go mode it, which is the opposite of what I just said. And we got 10 arrows on the torch. So Bob is going to live, guys. Shouts to Bob. But will he live? It depends on if we actually see him. Ender, checking more chests anyway, probably wondering, hey, maybe there's a sword around here. Getting the big key. That opens up more locations still for him. Mirroring out for some reason. I guess it's faster, maybe. Chest number something is bombs. Chest, the next one, heart piece. I don't know where we're at. 50 rupees. And another small key. Is it gonna be in Rando Room? Is it gonna be... Where's it gonna be, guys? Getting a nice little safety fairy to go. Another small key. Key for a key. Can't go wrong. Oh, and just a dungeon map from the big key chest in Swamp Palace. Ender making his way on through. Will we be seeing a Rando Room big key in this here G Tower? Bonking over the fire snake. Switching to hookshot. We're doing play-by-play. Another bomb capacity upgrade. He's opened a door. He's gone through a portal. He is going through a second portal. He's switching to bombs. Now, it looks like to me Ender is still opting to check some extra chests. Hoping for a tempered sword was in Swamp Palace. Wow. So Ender is going to be ending up getting his gold sword at the end of this. And Zaen still without that big key. Guys, tile room is looking like an option. Otherwise, it's gonna... That means Bob lives. Guys, Bob lives. Ender picking up a safety fairy. Zaen falling down a hole. Ender hookshotting a blue jelly guy. Zaen not doing the little bonk to skip that portal, and then not picking up extra arrows because he didn't do it. There we go. All right, Bob's chest. We got 3 chests at Ice Armos. Otherwise, it's gonna be a tile room. Hey, look, hi Bob. Everybody say hi to Bob. There he is. There it is. It was Bob. Almost saving and quitting out of excitement. Taking a few hits from a couple kisses from Bob. You don't need that magic, right? Zaen making his way up to the gauntlet while Ender is going to have a little bit quicker of a fight against Argus because of picking up that tempered sword. Now imagine if we did not get a tempered sword from Trinex. How wacky that would have been. Zaen using his silver arrows to clear out the red mimics. Zaen doing the same thing he just did in that last room, but in a different room and in a different manner. Ender making his way up to Pod. He's still 3 crystals behind. He's still got a... Alright, Zane's got to be a little bit careful. He's only got 3 hearts left. I don't know if he still has any more safety fairies. I don't know how many he's used. He hasn't really taken any big deaths in this race so far. He does have the powder in hand, so if he can make it to the room right before the land moles, I can easily see him powdering that bunny beam. Oh no, the red... Never mind! Get the fairy! There you go! Who needs powder when you got just free fairies? Good old enemy drop RNG coming into play. Zaen using his sword to travel quickly across the ice. Will we be seeing some silver arrow strats from Zaen for this Land 2 fight? It looks like we are! And a miss! And a miss! And a hit! And a miss! And a hit! But with a sword. And a hit! One more to go. Decent. A decent 2-cycle fight for Lamola 2. Not a bad fight at all. Heading into the first Wizrobe room. Well, Ender is making his way through Pod, gonna be getting his big key and heading over to Helmstar to clear him out. Wiz room number 2. Easily cleared. No problems at all. And Ender about to bomb this wall and pick up his big key. And then he'll be able to go take on Helmassar. And he still has a ways to go. For people that are just popping in wondering what happened, why the racers are so different, the racers kind of evened out because both of them made dips into dungeons. Zaen making an early dip into Pod, while Ender made an early dip into T-Rock. And then it was kind of evened up for Skull Woods, Ice Palace. But then when it came down to going back into T-Rock to get the shovel, to get the mirror, Zaen went for it since that was his first time into T-Rock, but Ender put it off because he wanted to do Overworld instead, and nobody likes triple dipping into a dungeon. And quick Moldorn 2 from Zaen, a couple few slashes to his dying corpse. It's kind of rude. It's kind of rude. Picking up a red rupee in the last chest. That will be the last chest we'll be seeing from him. And here we go. Zaen moving into Aga 2. Let's see how well he can pull this off. Ooh. Going for slash strats, it looks like. Only getting one. Taking a hit. That's 2 more. 3 more hits to go. That's another 2. 1 more hit to go. And that's it. Aga 2 down. 1, 2, 2, 1. Ender taking out, working on Helmassar right now, trying to get that mask off. 17 hits with the hammer to clear it. And being able to, save a little bit of time having that tempered sword as opposed to Ender or Zaen only having the master sword. But with silver arrows in hand, it's just 1 arrow shot to clear phase 2 of Helmassar. And then from Ender, we're going to see a mirror in to go clear Armos, and then he still has to go up to Trinex before he can go into G Tower. And with Bob's chest being the big key location, it's going to be a little bit of time. All right. Oh, nice. Getting the double. Double from Zaen. Oh my gosh, this is some textbook stuff right there. This is some NMG strats right there. The quickest of phase 1s. The quickest of phase 2s. Moving on to phase 3 for Zaen. And we are seeing lots of teleports from our boy Ganon. He's having fun there. He said, nah. Alright, last hit, moving into phase 4. 4 silver arrows to finish it. Silver arrows were in the light world, yes. They were in Bonk Rocks. Getting the torch glitch. Missing the slash. Gonna have to do a couple singles here. This should be it. And that's it. That's not it. That's it. We did it. There it is. Ganon is down for the count. Zaen holding up his sword in triumph. Boo looking just a little bit excited, but not super excited. He walks through the door, Triforce room open. Zaen finishes first place with a 149-41, thus tying up their group. Each Ender and Zaen now holding a 2-1 record. So, depending on how the rest of their races go, either one of them could steal that first place spot, or we could see, if both of them win their next race, a tiebreaker to determine first and second in their group. Congratulations to Zaen. Now we'll be switching over audio to Ender as he finishes out the rest of this run. Congratulations to both players. Let's see how the rest of this goes. Ender now finishing off Armros Knights. All he's got left to do is make a trip up to T-Rock, take out Trinex, and then make his way all the way to Bob's chest, where he will be getting his big key. The question is, what route will he take? So guys, what'd you think? What'd you think of that seed? Wasn't the worst. We also didn't touch 2 pendant dungeons at all. It's kind of a fun situation. All right, I'm going to be bringing in Zaen. I'll ask him how his run felt to him. Congratulations, Zaen, on your victory. How you feeling right now?
Thank you very much. It was a pretty nice seed, to be honest.
Yeah?
It was actually earlier, but
other than the double dip into T-Rock, it was very friendly. I mean, there were 2 pendant dungeons you never had to touch.
Yeah, pretty much. That was actually pretty nice.
Yeah,
I'm used to pretty terrible seed, usually.
Yeah, same. How'd you feel when you got that shovel from Laser Bridge?
That was pretty trolly, not gonna lie. And it gave me the mirror out of all items. That was unexpected.
It was you made the exact perfect play after you got that mirror going straight into Swamp Palace, as opposed to going back and finishing Pod in Eastern. What was your thought process at that moment in time once you got that mirror?
At first, I was kind of considering going to Palace of Darkness first, but then since I was pretty much right there, I went to Swamp first instead, and it turned out well.
Yeah, I mean, you found go mode. Funny enough, the other sword ended up being in those 2 chests in the bottom of Swamp Palace, so... But it's not like it made a big difference with Trinex giving you another sword anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of nice of him.
Yeah, it was...
Like I would have just went to the Master Sword to Ganon anyway. It was a nice bonus.
With Cape and Half Magic, Master Sword Silvered Ganon is not too bad.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially with 4 bottles. I guess the funny thing is, like, Ender had a huge lead at the beginning, picking up the gloves from Agana's cave. That was the first thing he did when he went to South Shore. He went Dam and then Agana, which is, a bit of a crazy gamble, so to speak. It paid off for him. But then in the Dark World, he cleared Thieves Town the first time.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
A sword and the mitts. But then you were able to even things up because he ended up, after getting Bombos from the Waterfall Cave, he ended up going into T-Rock as opposed to... He ended up going into T-Rock, and I think at that time you were popping into pods. You guys both kind of made similar gambles that didn't pay off. There was something else. I don't remember what it was, but it was because of Ender going into T-Rock once already, he ended up doing everything else in the overworld and pod before going back to T-Rock to get that shovel. That's what...
Did he read any about the Fire Rod? Or what did he do?
He went into... Oh yeah, it was the Fire Rod. That was the one thing. Because you guys both went into dungeons looking for a Fire Rod. Or something. He went into T-Rock without a Fire Rod.
That lamp ended up in T-Rock in the first chest. And that cost me the race. That was pretty trolly.
Yeah, that
Luckily, it was not the case this time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember, because you ended up saving a lot of time by checking... He was checking T-Rock when you... As soon as you got your mitts, since you had gotten them late, you went straight into King's Tomb. So you ended up getting your Fire Rod a lot earlier. So that actually ended up evening things out a little bit. But Ender... using his Fire Rod on the Firehead right now. Sorry, I'm a little curious. I want to talk about your Master Sword, the backdoor strats on Trinex. was pretty impressive. I know it didn't go as perfect as you would have liked, but it was still nice to see the hammer strats.
Yeah,
Backdoor hammer strats.
It's actually easier than it looks.
Because I usually will wait for the one head to descend and then just do an upward attack with the hammer, as opposed to the other one. But yeah, you made it look easy.
Well, once you do it a few times, it's actually pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, nice. Well, I mean, if you have any other comments about this race, feel free to make them now. I don't really have anything else much to say. It was, for the most part, a pretty straightforward seed. It was just those gloves that were both really pesky locations.
Yeah, definitely. But I should have went to T-Rock way earlier than I did. I should have went there as soon as I got the fire rod, honestly. Would have been a way better play. But I think I went into Ice Palace instead. Which turned out to be alright.
Both you guys did finished Skullwoods and then finished Ice Palace, which, is not a bad play. Ice Palace, you could complete all of it, while T-Rock you can't. But it ended up having literally nothing, so...
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
When you were in Swamp Palace, when you picked up that book, what was your first thought? Were you like, please, no, absolutely not?
I was considering going to Desert Palace next, but as it turns out, I found the Ice Rod right in the next chest, I believe. And yeah, I was just...
Yeah, you got bailed out there, which was kind of nice.
Much.
Well, congratulations on your victory. With that win, you now tie Ender in your group, both of you guys holding a 2-1 record at this point. I believe. Let me double check. Yeah. Yep. So all you have, your next matchup is going to be, let's see, you have Who 4-2 Baker, and Ender has Justin Z left. So depending on how your all's next races go, we could either see one of you guys taking a huge lead in the group and one of you having to do a tiebreaker for second place, or if both you guys win your next race, we'll see a tiebreaker for first and second between you and your opponent right now, Ender Z. X.
So you might have a rematch.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. You're free to hang out here if you want, or if you have something you'd rather go do, you're free to go. Thanks again, GG's. Thanks for letting me commentate your race. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Everybody make sure to give Zaen a follow. Make sure to follow our runners. Zane's Twitch channel is Zaen, but with an extra A. Don't forget it. All right, Ender heading in. I'm very curious about that. He used Fire Rod on the fire Trinex head, but he used it like at least 5 times and then swung at it a couple times as well. So I wonder what's going on in his head. He might be, I don't know if it's tilt or anything. I'll make sure to have to ask him afterwards. Nobody likes seeing that dot done and then still having to finish the race. But kudos to players who see the dot done and still think, I'm going to finish this race, but I'm going to have a little bit of fun. Maybe we'll see some shovel dashes from him. There he is. Finish off Trinex. Grabbing his gold sword. Let's see how he routes G Tower. We know it is in Bob's chest. Who knows? We might see... one of those crazy full right side gambles. We might see a stupid route. Everybody kind of runs the G Tower route a little bit differently. Switching to bombs and dropping a bomb. Oh god, I'm seeing double vision. We've got 2. If you like cross your eyes a little bit, then it makes it 3D. Don't do that. Alright, I wonder what we'll see. Oftentimes, the safest route is usually 2 chests on the right and then a full clear of the left side. And that looks like what we're going to be doing. So he's going to actually save a little bit of time in this by going the full left. Making his way all the way to Bob's chest. Oftentimes, if players get a small key on the right side, they'll go for the right side play. But not today. Oh, okay, I was wondering. I was like, why is he not killing the guys? Is he planning on mirroring out? Alright, so he's just got the 4 chests in Randomizer room, and then I'll take him right to Bob. Bob holding the big key. Then we'll see our gauntlet performance from Ender. With that gold sword that is on the wrong tracker. That and then from there we'll see how his Ganify goes. Now, we saw a 4 cycle from Zaen for Aga 2. Let's see if Ender could do one better. I want to see a triple. I want to see a double triple. Can we get a 2 cycle? A hot 2 cycle? Yeah, somebody in chat mentioned earlier that Ender does not seem to use his boots as much as he probably should. Now, I know players that sometimes when they get boots super late into the seed will just kind of forget that they exist entirely. Like, oh yeah, I have boots. But I guess at this point as well, knowing that your opponent is already finished, I guess you're not really in much of a hurry. But Ender does need to remember that in these group stages, the time difference from when you finish to when your opponent finishes will play into your seeding into the next round. So you should still treat this like you want to, you want to finish this as quick. Treat it like a speed run still. Because right now, both these players, both Zaen and Ender, are fighting for top 2 in their group and are both currently top 2 in their group. So seeding is going to play a huge part. Taking a few hits in the Mimic rooms, clearing them. He still, I believe, has 1 blue potion left. So if things get worse, he can always also take a little pit stop into that nice little fairy fountain. Get some fairies. He has the bug net that he got from Peg Cave, so that is an option too. Looks like he is going for it. Grab some fairies. better safe than dead. Opting not to catch them with the bug net. Alright, let's see how this gauntlet goes for him. Using sword beams to your advantage and finding another fairy. Oh man, which he is opting to pick up with the bug net. Perfect. How optimal was that? Oh man, a good point to make is the fact that since he did not take the right side gamble in G-Tower, he did not pick up the powder. So the safeties that he acquires along the way are the only safeties that he is going to get. Unless he actually picks up a few extra chests, but at this point, the only thing else he could probably find would be maybe a couple of hearts. And are utilizing those sword beams. I wonder if we will see Butter Sword strats on Landmola 2, or if he's going to stick with the silvers. Oh! Oh! No! Oh, so close. That was pixels away. Interesting going for the long-range shot in those first two and getting them. So tying it up, still getting a 2-cycle, same with Zaen. Grabbing some safeties along the way. We're heading up into Wizrow 1. Ooh. Alright, all we got left is a few more rooms, a couple torches to light, a wall to bomb, a Moldorm to kill, a hole to fall into, and then we'll be good to go. Ooh, he's got to be careful there. Once again, not utilizing his boots. In these races that come down to like a difference of 10 seconds, every little second counts. So if you have long hallways where you can use the boots, I would advise using them, but you never want to accidentally fall down a hole or anything like that. And you're going to be checking these chests along the way, finding only rupees and an arrow capacity upgrade. We still have 2 more chests left, but we already know that the final chest in the game is a rupee, so this next chest could be... what? Could be a flute. Well, looks like he's gonna... ooh, taking the hit from the bunny beam. It's a very interesting looking bunny. Oh, wow! Brian! There was Brian. Hi, Brian. Kena Burno. What a place to put that. That would have been nice much earlier in the seed. Oh, taking a hit and falling down the hole. Take another hit. All right, one more slash and Moldorm 2 is dead. Oh no! All down the hole again. It's always worth remembering, especially with gold swords, since, you know, even a poke will do the same amount of damage, is that if you're in fear of falling, just hold out your sword and always push against the hole. He'll keep knocking you up against the edge, but more than likely you won't fall down unless he somehow jukes you anyway. And you're checking the last chest. Both players checking the last chest in the game. Both grabbing rupees. This was a very rich seed with the... you know, at one point I think our players had over 1,500. Alright, let's see this Agatu from Ender ZX. Zaen getting a 4-cycle. Let's see if he can do one better. Starting off with a double. Starting off strong. Let's see if he can get another one. Ooh, just a single. 3 hits left. Oh no. A 0. He's got to get a triple here. Oh man, another 0. Oh, I feel your pain. This fight stinks. Oh, if that wasn't a blue ball, he might have been able to get a triple from that. There it is. Agatu finished. Ganon, here we come. Watch out. Now, with Butter Sword, it makes the fight a little bit easier. It's only 6 slashes as opposed to 12 for the first 2 phases. 4th phase is always 4 hits of any kind. Slash or spin. Followed by 4 silvers. So, should be a very quick... Should be a very quick Ganon, assuming there's no falls or deaths, because we do have a safety fairy, so he can take 1 death. Moving into phase 2. Oh, switching to Burna Cape. Phase 3. Here we go. Now remember, we had a lot of warps this time, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 warps. 10 warps. Imagine if this was like, if you were like PB Pace, this was NMG, and Ganon just throws 10 warps at you. You just outright quit. You'd say, I'm done. I'm done with this game for the week. Alright, Ender opting to make sure he gets that torch glitch. Oh, and he misses it. Sometimes when those torches are going out, your inputs can easily get eaten. I've had it happen to me many a times. Not that getting the torch glitch is all that big of a deal since, you know, silvers and you have half magic and whatnot. He's going to have to be careful. He does not want to get knocked off. And honestly, if you time it right, you can actually, using the torch glitch, set up a triple. Or at least a double. But you run the risk of getting a big old Ganon hug from him. Which with blue mail would probably take you out in 1 hit at this point. And there we have it. Ganon is dead. Ender finishing. Can we get a congratulations to both of these runners for putting on a great show? Good fight. Decent seed. I had fun. So, the difference here. Zaen finishing with a time of 1:49.41. Ender ZX finishing with a time of 2:13.54. A difference of several minutes. We'll do the math later. Both runners now tied in their group. 2-1. 2 wins, 1 loss. Both players making crazy gambles. Both players making good choices. But ultimately, is the double dip T-Rock that made the big factor in this one. Welcome, Ender ZX. How you feeling right now? Both players making good choices. I'm sure you're wanting to vent. Is the double dip T-Rock that made the big factor in this one. Welcome, Ender ZX. How you feeling right now? I'm sure you're wanting to vent. All right, hold on. I all of a sudden heard my own voice, and it was terrifying. Hold on. I all of a sudden heard my own voice, and it was terrifying.
Hello?
Welcome, Ender. How you feeling right now, bud?
Mirrors.
Yeah,
Mirrors.
it's a good feeling. Mirrors. So I'm assuming this is what I gathered from it, that you had already been to T-Rock. You really didn't want to have to go back. You'd rather do other stuff than go back to T-Rock after you got that fire
rod. I wish
rod.
it was that good. I forgot that I could finish everything up to Trinex with the fire rod.
Oh, okay. That would do it. All right. Well, that changes a few things.
Yeah, I thought I took it as far as I could, and then when I did everything else, realized I'm an idiot.
You know, it happens to the best of us. We forget the smallest things. Like King's Tomb. I don't know if it was forgotten or it just put off for a while or just chosen to do other stuff, but that one having the fire rod allowed Zaen to catch up a little bit. You had a huge advantage going into once pretty early on. You gambled on Agana's Cave, which had the glove, which was nice. And then you full cleared Thieves Town, getting you another sword and eventually the mitts, which Zaen didn't do. And then I think things evened up with you going into T-Rock at some point, and then you guys were both like evened up once you both had the fire rod. You were both doing Skull Woods, then you both did Ice Palace, and then Zaen went up to T-Rock with the fire rod while you did Overworld and Pod. So
yeah, I figured if he got fire rod and went to T-Rock, he was gonna win. So
well, that and that laser bridge was a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
It's pretty rough.
Just kept falling off that same corner.
Now, throughout the entire race, you both played really good, really great stuff. I only have to ask this, of course, was after you'd already seen the dot done, so can't really compare someone's play after they already know that they've lost, because most times people will just goof around or not take it seriously. Which I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying in general. We saw some interesting plays at Trinex from your side, hitting that fire rod, the fire head with the fire rod, and then hitting the ice head with the ice rod.
Yeah, I picked the wrong rod.
Well, that's one thing. That's fine to pick it, but you hit him at least 5 times with the fire rod and slashed him a couple times.
So in all of my practices, I am notorious for breaking the game in Turtle Rock, and I thought I did it again. Didn't realize I was on the wrong rods.
Define breaking. What do you mean breaking the game?
The last one, I set off a glitch when I ran through a door and ran out of magic with the cape at the same time.
Okay, yeah, I know about that one.
I set off a bunch of stupid things. Usually just stuff like that.
So how did that apply this time?
I thought I broke the game again and didn't realize I was on the wrong rod.
Oh, okay.
So then I was just going to let him kill me and see if it reset something, and then as I was going, I realized I used the wrong rod.
Oh, gotcha. Well, he did kill you. And it did reset something, maybe. Nothing? I don't know.
I'm just dumb.
It didn't look glitched to me. Well, any final words, final thoughts? With this results, both players now move on 2-1 in your group. So all you guys have to do next is win your next race, and then we'll be seeing a rematch between the two of you to tie break for first and second.
That would be fun. I am apparently a robot, according to the chat.
Yeah, it's fine. But
no, he played well. I'm not good at getting under 2 hours, so anyone who can do that usually wins.
Ah, gotcha. Well, definitely good practice. I'm sure you will be doing a little bit more. Both you guys will be doing some more practice before your next race, whenever that may be.
Mine's in a week from now, so I've got a while.
Well, there you go. Plenty of time. Well, thank you so much for joining me for a little talk, little event afterwards. Wish you good luck on your next races.
Yeah, thanks for commentating. I
Yeah, no
didn't
problem.
know it was getting restreamed until I went into the IRC. So
Oh yeah, it was last second, and I wanted to do some solo commentary, so I had time. So hope you enjoy
that's
rewatching
awesome.
that.
Thanks to the restreamer and everyone else.
Shouts to Felix the Cat for restreaming, and shouts to Ninban for running tracker. Guys, make sure to follow both Ender and Zaen as they continue their journey through the secondary tournament. Make sure to follow myself, Willer J. Bradley, Ninban, our tracker, as well as Felix the Cat, restreamer. Thank you so much, Ender, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to do it over here on Randomizer 2 for now. Let's take a look at that little schedule real quick. We got, what's right now? It's 2:24 my time, so it's almost 5:30. Our next race on the secondary tournament is going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern over on Randomizer Mania. And also on the main tournament side, it's going to be Sidarial versus, oh, that's me, versus Willard J. Bradley at 7:30 p.m. Over on Uncertain. We don't have a channel yet. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the schedules. Keep an eye on the Twitters. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the race. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Shout outs to my restreamer, and my tracker for jumping in last second to make this happen. I'll see you guys at the next race. Have a good one, and yeah, go drink some coffee. I'm gonna go do the same. Toodles.